Chris Sewall here, baseball card collector, investor, dealer in that order. Welcome everyone. High rollers time, and this week we are checking out the latest Heritage auction, which ended on September 29th. Heavily vintage, as is usually the case with Heritage auction, but a little bit of modern scattered throughout. Before we count down the top 10, let's check out some honorable mentions, and we will start with pre-war baseball. And when I say pre-war baseball, I mean some 50, 60 years before the war. 1887 N172 Old Judge Ed Delahanty. He's a Hall of Famer, graded an SGC VGEX4. Absolutely impossible grade for a card that is, 130-ish years old, or even more than that. $75,000. All the prices you see here include the buyer's premium, so the hammer price was a little less than that, but that's what the buyer is paying out of pocket to own the card. More 1887 N172 Old Judge. This one, King Kelly, also a Hall of Famer. Another impossible grade, an SGC EX5 on that absolute historic beauty. $33,600. 1910 E125 American Caramel Honus Wagner. This is the batting variation. Graded an SGC Pour 1. Incredibly rare stuff here. This is one of only 3 copies that have ever been graded by SGC. $10,200. More Honus Wagner from 1910. This is a D322 Tip Top Bread, graded an SGC VGEX4. $144,000 for this Tip Top card. Babe Ruth from 1932 US Caramel, graded a scorching SGC Near Mint plus 7.5 from our Blazer division and our I'm Jealous division and our Ooh La La division. 3 divisions contributing on this one. $84,000. 1952 Topps Baseball Unopened Wax Pack. It's graded a GAI EX plus 5.5. GAI is a grading company, no longer in business. Went out of business maybe 10 years ago or so, but they were generally considered credible when they were around. $102,000. The pack is from the 5th and 6th series. Roberto Clemente, 1968 Topps, graded a SGC Gem Mint 10. That is a Pop 1. Looks absolutely beautiful in the SGC holder there. $31,200. From the same set, 1968 Topps, nice triple combo card of Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, and Harmon Killebrew. 3 Hall of Famers, 3 500 home run hitters. A lot of hits and home runs and MVPs, All-Star games, and championship rings represented on this card. Graded PSA Gem Mint 10, $18,600. Another Bob Clemente, better known as Roberto Clemente from 1968. 1968 Topps 3D Roberto Clemente, graded an SGC Near Mint 7. Really rare card as it's on the endangered species list. Don't see a lot of these out in the wild anymore. $20,400. 1969 Topps, this is a common. Ed Charles, graded a PSA Gem Mint 10, and thanks to the Pop Report, where it's just a Pop 3, and the set registry, people collecting the set in high grade, $16,200 for a card that in mid-grade sells for about 50 cents. 1980s Baseball is in the building. Let's get wild. 1985 Topps Tiffany, Mark McGuire rookie, graded a PSA Gem Mint 10. That is his best card in the hobby, $19,800. On to football. 1955 Topps All-American Albie Booth, graded a PSA Gem Mint 10. I believe he's essentially a common as well, but this is a Pop 1, $19,200. Look at this collection here. 1986 Topps Jerry Rice rookie. It's a collection of over 300 copies of the card. Ungraded, went for $36,266.40. It's described as, the cards are described as X Mint to Near Mint Mint. That equates to a little over $100 per card. On to basketball. 1969 Topps Walt Frazier rookie, Hall of Famer here, PSA Mint 9. There's only 1 copy graded higher by PSA and a 10 holder, $20,400. More GAI, 2 GAI listings in the honorable mentions. That's a high rollers first. 1984 Star Chicago Bulls unopened team bag with Michael Jordan, of course, showing on the top. It's graded a GAI Mint 9 for the bag, $27,600. 1997 Skybox Premium Star Rubies, Allen Iverson. This is his second year card. The Star Rubies that year were serial numbered out of just 50. It's a PSA Mint 9. There are no copies graded higher than that by PSA, $12,600. 1997 Metal Universe Precious Metal Gems Shaquille O'Neal. This is the ruby or the red, graded a PSA VGEX4, but these cards are often in lower grades. Serial numbered out of 100, but really only 90 as the first 10 are green. $15,600. Michael Jordan auto from 2005, Upper Deck Exquisite. Scripted swatches. It's serial numbered out of just 25, graded BGS Near Mint Mint 8 with a 10 for the auto. $12,600. On to hockey. 1951 Parkhurst Maurice Rocket Richard rookie, graded an SGC Near Mint Mint plus 8.5. Incredible grade for this 1951 Parkhurst, $20,400. 1965 Topps Hockey complete set. It's a high grade set. Every card is graded by PSA. That's 128 cards there. A lot of PSA 9s and 8s. $17,400. Soccer 2004 Mundi Chromo Liga. Lionel Messi rookie, graded a PSA Gem Mint 10. He's got a bunch of rookies from 2004, but I just thought this was sort of one of the nicer ones. $19,800. Non-sports 1966 Topps Batman high grade complete set. 55 cards in the set. Every card is graded by PSA. A lot of 8s and 9s in there. The card number 1 on the lower left, which is the key card in the set, is graded PSA Near Mint 8. More non-sports 1940 Superman card number 1. Superman graded PSA VGEX4. That's right, Superman was around in 1940. If you don't believe me, ask your granddaddy. Just short of 10 grand, $9,900. And one more non-sports to finish off the honorable mentions. 1993 Skybox Simpsons Matt Groening Art to Bart sketch card, graded PSA Authentic with a DNA 10 for the auto. I guess the auto is Matt Groening writing his name down there at the bottom. Not familiar with this card, but apparently I should be. It went for $10,800. But that brings us to our top 10, and leading us off at number 10 is a 1979 Topps Baseball complete set. This will not be the last set we see in the top 10 here. Every card is graded by PSA, and every card is graded either a 9 or a 10. You can see a bunch of the key cards there graded a 9. The Ozzie Smith rookie is the most notable card in the set by far in the upper left. It's graded PSA Mint 9. This is the number 1 ranked set on the PSA set registry. Sold for $150,000. I mean, it's the nicest set known to exist on the planet for a 1979 top set, and therefore there are no comps for it. $150,000 is a going rate. Number 9, 1925 Exhibits Lou Gehrig, graded an SGC VGEX Plus 4.5. Older SGC label when a VGEX Plus equated to a 55 score. And VGX Plus looks, I mean, the card looks sharp. It certainly looks sharper than a 4.5 from here anyway. A little bit of edge wear, a little bit of tipped corners, but really, really clean overall, both on the front and the back. Perhaps the picture's not picking up some issues here and there, but sold for $156,000. This is Gehrig's first card in the hobby. There has not been an SGC 4.5 sale ever before this one. The most recent sale of the card in a similar grade was a PSA 4.5 that sold in April for $387,000. So compared to that one, this sale here appears to be quite low. It's an SGC Pop 1, and there are only 2 copies of the card graded higher by SGC. Number 8, a second complete set, 1975 Topps Baseball complete set. 660 cards in the set. Every card, once again, is graded by PSA, and it's obviously a very high-grade set, with most cards being 9s, I think a few 8s scattered in, and a few 10s scattered in. And this set's a little harder to get in high grade, a little more condition sensitive because of the colored borders and edges, but you can see some of the key cards there, mostly graded mint 9s. Robin Yount and George Brett are the 2 biggest rookies in the set, but you also got Gary Carter, Jim Rice, Fred Lynn, Keith Hernandez, maybe a couple others. The Nolan Ryan, obviously, and Hank Aaron at the top, also key cards as well. Sold for $198,000. Forgot to mention, this is the number 5 ranked set on the PSA set registry. Obviously very impressive. I believe all these sets probably came from the same seller. I don't know that for sure, but it certainly seems like that's probable, as a lot of high-grade PSA set registry 70s sets appear in the Heritage auction this week. Number 7, a card I have never seen before, 1914 Boston Garter Color, number 2, Ty Cobb. It's graded an SGC Fair 1.5, and from here looks to be an extremely strong eye appeal 1.5. The front looks absolutely beautiful here, at least for a 1.5 anyway. The back has some notable paper loss and staining throughout, and that's the reason why for the low technical grade. But again, I think the eye appeal here is much nicer than the standard 1.5. Sold for $204,000. This card is extremely rare. It's only been graded a total of 3 times by PSA and SGC, twice by SGC and once by PSA. It's only the second ever sale of the card in any grade I could find. The first was an SGC 4, which sold for about $200,000 back in 2018. So the SGC 1.5 here, the first sale of the card in any grade in 5 years, selling for about the same as the SGC 4 5 years ago. Number 6, a High Rollers regular, 1986 Fleer, number 57, Michael Jordan rookie, Graded a PSA Gem Mint 10, and nothing jumps out from the picture, suggesting that it should not be a 10. On the front, at least. On the back, same. Looks great. I guess a little bit off-centered on the back, but certainly within the range of acceptable centering for a PSA 10. Sold for $210,000. This card's actually, the sale's actually a little bit high, on the high side, sort of suggesting the card might be on the uptick a little bit. This card dropped significantly over the last 3 years, from high sales around $750K all the way down to well under $200,000. And over the last 6 months, it's averaged about $180,000. That's including a number of sales. But the last two, including this one, up over $200,000. Number 5, our third of what will end up being 4 complete sets in the top 10 here. 1973 Topps Baseball complete set. Includes some variations, so 677 total cards. Every card, once again, is graded by PSA, and every card is graded either a Mint 9 or a Gem Mint 10. The most notable card in this set is the Mike Schmidt rookie in the upper left. You can see that's a PSA Mint 9. Other Hall of Fame rookies include Goose Gossage, but lots of big-name stars just happen to appear in the 73 set, sort of at the end of their career, such as Clemente, Aaron, Mays, but also Nolan Ryan, Pete Rose, and others. Sold for $222,000. This is the number 6 ranked set on the PSA set registry for 1973 Topps. And yeah, pretty impressive whoever put all these sets together. Number 4, 1968 Topps, number 280, Mickey Mantle. It's graded a PSA Gem Mint 10. And again, nothing jumps out from the photo here to suggest it should not be a 10, at least on the front nor on the back. Basically a perfect looking card in all categories. This is Mantle's second to last year card in the hobby during his playing days. Sold for $234,000. It's the second highest ever sale of the copy of this card in any grade ever, which kind of makes the sale sound kind of high. But on the other hand, the only higher sale was earlier this year. Another PSA 10 went for $510,000, more than double this. So by that measure, it seems like kind of a low sale. Once again, this is only the second sale of a PSA 10 since 2019, so not a lot to go off of other than that big money sale that occurred in February earlier. It is a PSA Pop 11. Number 3, our final complete set, 1971 Topps Baseball complete set. Every card, once again, is graded by PSA. The complete set has 752 cards. This actually includes 761, so it includes 9 variations, although it's actually missing 2 additional variations. So it is a complete set, but just short of a complete master set, if we're being technical here. Every card is graded either a PSA 8 or a PSA 9. Again, really condition-sensitive set, really tough to get cards in that high grade. The Hall of Fame rookies this year include Bert Blyleven and Ted Simmons, also rookies of Dusty Baker and Don Baylor on the same card. Key cards include Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Nolan Ryan, Roberto Clemente, Pete Rose, and Thurman Munson. Sold for $240,000, and this is the number 4 ranked set on the PSA set registry for 1971 Topps. Number 2, another card from this set that I haven't seen before, 1914 Boston Garter, color number 6, Shoeless Joe Jackson. Like the Ty Cobb earlier, it's graded an SGC Fair 1.5, and like the Ty Cobb earlier, just a ridiculously high eye appeal for a 1.5. The front looks absolutely beautiful. Again, the back appears to have some paper loss and staining, which accounts for the low technical grade. These are beautiful looking cards, but like I mentioned earlier, extremely rare. It's only been graded 5 times in total by PSA or SGC. Sold for $252,000, and you have to go all the way back to 2019 to find another sale of a copy of this card in any grade. That was actually an SGC 5.5, which is the highest graded copy in existence from any of the grading companies. That went for $480K. Again, that was back in 2019. And number 1 on the top 10 list here, completely dominated by PSA graded vintage baseball, but number 1 goes to Beckett graded modern basketball. 2003 Exquisite Collection, Rookie Parallel, number 78, LeBron James Rookie Patch Auto. It's graded a BGS Near Mint plus 8.5. Subgrades are quite strong for the grade. You get 3 9.5s, but an 8 for corners being the weakest link. You can see a 3-color patch there. Card serial numbered out of 23, and the auto gets a 10 score. Sold for $468,000. This sale is actually quite low, although not really surprising given that we've seen high-end LeBron cards have been falling in the last year or two. But going back to 2020, this is the 6th sale of a BGS 8.5, and this is the lowest of the 6 sales. The last sale before this one, though, was only for $510,000, and that was in June. So this is probably about where you would expect it to land today. But that's it. Your top 10 this week featured one each of LeBron James, Ty Cobb, Michael Jordan, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, and 4 1970s baseball complete sets. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Tomorrow is regular Rollers. Hope you enjoyed, and see you all again next time. Thanks, everyone.